Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Cocktails and Conversations with A'Driana LaFaye. I have the beautiful and talented RaQuita Weathers with us today. How are you doing?
Hi, everyone. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I am doing amazing. Thank you. You guys, if you are not familiar with RaQuita, she is the owner of Belle Rouge Photography and the creator of Lifestylish Magazine. So amazing. She's going to give us her top 5 tips for entrepreneurs. And RaQuita, you could just take it away.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'm glad you brought this topic up. So I was sitting here and I was thinking of my top 5. And I was like, you've learned so much this year. And this is the perfect time to ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to get right to it.
Okay.
So one of my first tips that I have is to invest in education within your industry. And I'm going to elaborate on all these too. So I think there are many times we kind of see other people doing things and we like, it seems easy, so why can't we do it too? So many times, like even in my field for photography, I was one of those people. I saw it. I was like, man, this is something. If you go pick up a camera and you have a good eye, I can do that. Why not just charge for it? That's cool. It's great, but you will end up in burnout real fast in a hurry. And I learned all that stuff the hard way. This is going to be year 3. This wraps up 3 years next month in October for me. So in 3 years of photography, my business has went from here to here. It's been a drastic change. And there's just so much that I've learned over time. So of course, there's lessons that are learned from your mistakes. But if you really invest to learn what it is that you need to know in your industry, I think you would kind of cut out a lot of that headache and heartache or whatever you go through in those first few years of building. So very, very important and crucial tip for anyone starting out in whatever the industry is that you're doing.
I totally agree. I cannot believe it seems like it's been longer than 3 years. I don't know why.
Girl, I started my photography business in October 2018.
Wow.
And it's just been consistently going, which is now I'm to a point now where I can like kind of sit back and rest without overworking myself. And I'm happy. I'm really happy in what I'm doing.
That is awesome. That's the goal, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, here. Let's see. Number 2, find a mentor. So again, this kind of goes back to that first thing and not knowing. When you get a mentor, and it does not have to be in your same industry, because again, you can learn from someone else. I mean, it could have been a finance coach or a branding coach or someone else that could really help teach you things. And again, just business in general. We're all in business, right? So no matter if it's from someone picking up a camera or writing a book, there's a lot of things that still must be learned in business. So if you find someone that's been doing it for a while that can really teach you something, it's best to have that in your corner. Because what's the saying? You don't want to be the smartest person in the room. If so, you need to find another room.
Exactly.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Yes.
That's a great one.
And I will say this is the year. This is the year where I've actually found a mentor in my industry. And I've actually met other people outside of photography that have just taught me so much more about just balance, setting boundaries for myself. Mm-hmm. I will say that I still have a full-time job. I still have 2 kids. I'm married. All of these things, it's a lot. And to try to balance those things without boundaries, it's a nightmare.
It is. I totally agree.
Very critical.
Mm-hmm.
My tip number 3 is that pricing knowledge is, this is critical. That's actually what I wrote. Pricing knowledge is critical. Knowing how to price your services, your products, it is so important because again, that thing I talked about with burnout earlier, I was pricing myself too low where I was too accessible. And then there's also this piece of value that goes along with your pricing. So if people see a low price, they probably think there's low value associated with that. When you understand who you are and who you are serving, exactly who that ideal client is for you, that changes everything. Your ideal client may not be looking for a $50 service provider. They may be looking for someone at a much higher price point because they already perceive that the value is higher with that person. They're going to pay more for. So think about who exactly you're serving. If your goal is to be affordable, then great, serve that and own that. If you are to be a high-end service provider, be truthful to what that is and the value that comes along with it. So you can't just slap a high price tag without the value added. So if anyone's listening and you are, unsure about your pricing, do the market research again, and also understand who it is that you're serving.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it is so, so, so important, because you have a lot of photographers out there that charge a lot, but when you look at the product, the end goal, like the end, it's like, I think you really should be charging that.
That's funny, because I always would think, one day I'm going to get to charge like so-and-so. And the question, I was like, well, why aren't you doing it now? Why can't you do it now? And I was like, but I haven't been in the game long enough. Right. And it's like, but what you're producing is already better. So why isn't it that you feel you can't charge what you feel you're worth? And my mentality was thinking I had to be doing this for so long in order for me to say, oh, now I can charge $1,000. Mm-hmm. Now I can charge $2,000. No, and the other piece about me was thinking, oh, nobody's going to pay me for that. No one. And then guess what? I put it out there, booked.
Right.
Booked. But they were just waiting on me to realize it.
Exactly.
That was the thing. And I sat back and I'm like, oh, that was it. I just had to do it. I just had to do the scary thing, the thing that I was afraid of, and put that price tag on it. And then it's not even just that. I've actually had someone that was in our studio last week. They shot with this celebrity photographer, and you expect so much to go along with that because they have such a big name and a big following. Mm-hmm. And they said having that shoot with this person versus coming to our studio and shooting with us, night and day. The experience was not there. So they're paying these high prices, and yet they didn't feel half as valued as they did when they walked into our studio.
Wow.
And I was like, see, we're sleeping on ourselves sometimes. And it's like, but we're very proud of what we're doing. And like, to me, the customer service really is a key part of Belle Rouge Photography, as well as my business partner. So we both own photography-based studios that's in Atlanta, Georgia. And in our space, like, the key there really is customer experience. So from the minute you walk in the door, from the moment you sit down and you have a drink and bring out the wine, or, if you need to bring your makeup artist to the studio, whatever it is, you're going to feel valued from the moment you walk in to the moment you walk out and to the time you get your gallery. Like, there's pieces that go with that the whole way through. So you can go to someone that's just going to show up to the shoot, don't know what you're shooting, shoot, send you the pictures and have a good day. You want that? By all means, go find it, but that's not what you're getting over here. So,
you guys, I can attest to everything she's saying. You are paying for not only a quality, exceptional, gallery, you're also paying for the experience, and it's a beautiful experience. Now, like she said, if you're not interested in that and you just want someone to come and take your pictures, okay, that's cool, but I like the experience.
Thank you. Most people want to feel pampered, and they want the whole nine. Like, why not? So,
because it opens you up more too. A lot of people who aren't photogenic or don't really know what to do, coming to your studio, especially you and Sean, like, you guys, right at the beginning, you get it going, you open us up. I love it.
Yes, absolutely. And Shan Roberts, that's my co-owner. Yes, no problem. And so my next tip number 4, is to brand yourself and your business. I see many times some people kind of choose to do, I see one or the other, or they put so much emphasis in the business, and then the people don't know who is behind the business. And so when it comes time to say, hey, can you send us a headshot for this flyer? We want to feature your business. You don't have it. And not that I'm saying some people, they may not even have it. And then I start seeing these cell phone pictures posted on the flyer. And then nothing irks me more as a photographer to see that. You'd be like, why you just ain't book a headshot session? Why? And if you're listening and you don't have a headshot, you need to hit me up, because it's very critical that every business owner has that professional image, because you never know when you're going to need it, whether you're putting your picture on LinkedIn, on your Gmail, your business account, whatever that is. Do you have an email signature with a photo? Please be professional when you do that. And so that goes into making sure that your personal brand and your business brand are both like on key. People support who they like, know, and trust. So again, people want to see who's behind that brand. You can post all the products you want. And there's just sometimes people might even be more intrigued to buy from you because it's a Black woman owning this business. And oh, she has kids as well, and she's really doing all this, you know. People really, they buy into that. They want to know who's behind the brand. So that's my tip number 4. And then my 5th tip, which really isn't the last tip, is really tip number 1, and it's to pray over your business. A lot of times you don't hear that. No one really talks about that. Let me not say no one talks about it. There are people that are very faith-driven that talk about this, but from the average business owner, you really don't hear that a lot, in my opinion. And when you're saying your nightly prayers, make sure you pray for what God is going to send you in your business, whether it's the right type of client that's going to value you. Pray for prosperity over your business. All those things are things that in the beginning, I didn't do that. I was praying for everything else but, and then was wondering why I was struggling in the business, running myself ragged. And then I had to start praying for the things that I wanted to see in my business. And I think in doing all that, it started happening. It was seeing it more and more. And I started getting rid of like the complaining type clients, or the ones that kind of overwork you. And it's like, these people here they're valuing what I put out there. So it's like, be intentional in what you're praying for. So that's my 5 tips. I know those are kind of all over, but I think they're very helpful to any entrepreneur that's period, whether you're starting out or you've been doing this for a while.
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely don't feel like it was all over. I feel like you hit all the right points. And I'm pretty sure we could probably, if we extended a little bit longer, could come up with some more. And guys, if you saw the video with Shabrenica, RaQuita just hit on what she was talking about as far as branding, how important that is for your business. You know, we cannot stress that enough. It's so important. It's a key factor.
Yeah. See, I was trying not to go on a tangent about branding, because I was talking about branding all day. I was like, this call is not about branding. But it really is important. It's extremely important. And this is a topic I was talking to a friend about the other day. When it comes to branding, right? And just to running a business. So this kind of goes off my 5 tips, but it all ties in. Understanding, when I talked about pricing earlier, understanding what certain services cost, no matter what it is, whether it's a digital marketer, is it a branding photographer, how much you're paying a videographer for a project, copyright, whatever the service is, knowing what the ballpark range is before you put together a budget. And I've seen it happen before. Someone will have an event, we'll only budgeted $200 for a photographer. Most of the photographers you might find, their base rate might be $150 an hour. You only gonna get an hour and a half of coverage for your shoot. Even I was talking to someone that runs ads. You're probably thinking, I'll budget $300 for that. No, it might run you $1,200, or you never know what it is. But again, understanding what does this stuff really cost? Because we say we want to do so many things in our businesses, but yet knowing how to properly, not really price, but plan for these things. Because you can come up with the product, but you need to market the product. Right. So how much you got to spend to market that product and get it out in front of the right people. Right. So that's something, if you haven't thought about that, if you're watching, take the time to really sit back and do the research.
Exactly. I second that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it happen, and I'm like, okay. I've had people even come to me with branding, and that's why when I tell them this is the price for a branding photo shoot, for one, this is commercial business to business work. A lot of people don't realize this is a business write-off. And it's like, yes, you should be writing all of this off for your business. But yet I've had people, because of their price points, they go find someone that's not a branding photographer. And then they come to me and they tell me they're upset, or I need to book a whole new shoot because I can't use any of these images. They're cute photos, but they don't speak to my brand. Or I can't use any of these on my website because they're not professional enough. You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
You really do.
Yeah.
And like you said before, not to beat a dead horse, but you got to do the research, guys. Like, you really do. It sucks to have to pay twice.
Oh yeah.
I mean, especially if that's not your budget.
You think you're paying for makeup? You're probably paying for hair. I mean, you got to have somebody come assist you, or a babysitter or something.
Right.
All that stuff. If you do it right the first time, you wouldn't have to do that again.
Exactly. So. And she is the right one the first time. Just saying.
I mean, I help some businesses around here like that.
Yeah, quite a few. So RaQuita, how can the listeners get in touch with you? How can they connect?
Yes, so you can find me on Facebook or Instagram, Belle Rouge Photography. That's BelleRouge Photography. My website is also BelleRougePhotography.com. So yeah, anywhere you search Belle Rouge Photography, here I am.
All right, perfect. And we didn't even get a chance to touch on Lifestylish Magazine. You want to?
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yes, so Lifestylish Magazine is actually a passion project of mine. So just to kind of give you guys a backstory. So last year, I was talking to myself, and I'm always one of those people that likes to kind of be busy. And when I have downtime, don't give me downtime. I don't know what to do when I have downtime. I get to creating stuff. And I said, you know what? And I was having a lot more branding shoots at that time. And I was like, I'm learning so much about these business owners, but yet I only see the couple of pictures on Instagram, maybe a picture on their website. And I'm like, no one knows your story. Like, why aren't you really sharing, why you got started in your business? Or this is stuff that could really help other people. I wasn't seeing that platform in a community space to where it could just be shared. And so I'm like, I got such amazing photography work. Why not put it together and create a platform to highlight my clients, other businesses that I know, and mothers, because there's a big part for me. I have a big piece of my heart for moms and maternity. And that's really what I shoot. I shoot branding and maternity. And so let's marry all that together. I know writer. I know people that would love to contribute to this. I'm like, why not put it together? And that's what I did. So the first issue launched on my birthday in February of this year with our spring issue. And then we just had our summer issue back in June. And we're in the middle of launching the fall issue right now. So a lot of big things to come for Lifestylish Magazine. Super excited about it.
I'm excited for you. That is awesome. It's so nice. If you can't tell, guys, I love her.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you. I was very excited when you reached out to me about this opportunity. So love it. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I feel like, and I am one of those ones, like, that's why I felt like this was so important, because I am one of those ones, like you said, you live and you learn. Sometimes you don't do the research ahead of time, and I didn't, do the research. I just said, okay, well, this person has nice pictures. I'm just going to use who they use, and then didn't do the research. And then I was like, okay. Then when I went to you, and I was like, oh, that's what retouching looks like. Oh, that's what that's supposed to look like. Okay. Yeah. So yes, definitely having to pay twice.
Definitely. And there's people, and I will say this too. So there's some people. So in my business, I do not give out raw images. So let's say what you receive, at least today. I think when we started, I was still sharing like, these are all the pictures, you can have them. But if you look at what I send as the end product and versus that first image, they're usually, again, you still like yourself, but they're still like kind of night and day. When you go and post that unedited image, it kind of just like, not that it waters down, but it kind of takes away from that final product.
It does.
So to prevent from us putting just anything out there, I only send that final product today. And so, and those clients, trust me, everything that you're going to put out is going to be of quality.
Yep.
And so, and what I see a lot, and I've even seen this in other, like other photographers, what they put out, oh, I'm just going to lightly edit this stuff and I'm going to send you everything. Cool, I see that. And then you retouch like 2 or 3. And then you see the retouch, and then you see the other stuff, and you be like, oh, wow. So you ain't look like that. Or whatever it is. Point being, trust your photographer. Like, really, really trust. You go to someone that you can trust. Let me put it like that.
Right.
So, and that knows what they're doing. So it's really important to research who it is that you're spending your money on.
Yeah.
This is definitely an investment.
It is.
Whether it's for makeup. Girl, I was thinking about your appointment the other day. I'm like, this girl's so smart. I'm gonna get into it. But anyways, from your makeup artist to having your hair done, like, go to people, for one, that specialize in those things.
Right.
There's nothing worse than you going to somebody that tell you they can do something and you haven't seen the proof. Where's the social proof? And then you come up upset because you didn't spend your money and you didn't get what you thought you were going to get. So, yeah, man, that's very critical. Research, do homework. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we did a little bit more than 5, but that's okay. The people needed to hear everything.
Oh, yeah. Y'all got all the gems today. Most of the gems.
Awesome. RaQuita, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down with us today. We have to do this again because, like I said, I know we went over 5, so I know we could come up with some more.
Oh, yes. This is a perfect thing. We're going to have to talk because I'm going to have to get you in the magazine for our next issue so we can talk more of this. So absolutely love what you're doing, and many, many blessings to you.
Thank you so much. I adore you as well. And guys, hit her up on social media, website. If you need an example of what some of her photos look like, go to official A'DrianaLaFaye.com. Go to BelleRougePhotography.com. Her photos are amazing.
Well, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it, A'Driana.
Oh, you are so welcome. Guys, that's another episode of Cocktails and Conversations with A'Driana LaFaye. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.